Hello, thank you for being with us, Simon Motorsports. Today we're going to talk about stacking clutches and helping the Harley 6-speed from breaking. First of all, people ask me, why do you stack a clutch? What does that mean? A typical Harley clutch is made up of fiber plates, steel, fiber. It goes right on down till you have what's called a clutch back. There's a measurement, and we'll just, for argument's sake, say it's 2 inches. So if you run an Ames lockup or a Bandit lockup, anybody's lockup, you don't want to lock the clutch up 100%. You want to have what's called clutch gap when you shift the bike. And what that means is when you take off in first gear and you flat shift at the second, you should not feel the front wheel trying to come off the ground. The rear tire is dead hooked and there's no give. So the clutch isn't given, the tire's not given, something's got to give. Now we'll get back to this, but this is what gives right here. This is why we do clutch gap. And I'm going to show you. So you put your Harley 6-speed in, which we have here. Ours has a billet door, we recommend for a lot of reasons. Stock transmission, stock Harley door. This is the main shaft out of a 6-speed. Now, clutch gap. So we installed the new gearbox. We got the proper oil, red line oil. You have to use that. Okay, you start with a fiber, a steel, fiber, steel. Now, this is what's called stacking the clutch. Fiber, another fiber, steel, fiber, steel, steel, fiber, steel, fiber. You end up, whatever your clutch ends up with. So we end up with the same 2-inch stack height, but look, we're going to stay, you got two steels, and for argument's sake, if these measure 40 thousandths, now they measure 80 thousandths. It's just taking roughly 2 to 5% clutch out of the bike when you shift. It will not slip at high RPM, but when you do your speed shifting from second to third, third to fourth, it gives it that little cushion of give, so it's not hammering on your main shaft and taking third gear out. So that's clutch gap. So we're going to talk about it a little bit more. Some people say, well, can you say that again? So that's a standard Harley. You can have a diaphragm, you can have a lockup. This is my favorite. This is the Bandit. This one here is fully adjustable weights. This is my feeling about this, is the best clutch out there. You can stack your plates. You can start with no weight, just the arms. You can put as much weight you want on it. This is a very simple, easy way of tuning a clutch, and you have zero problems with your clutch. Again, we're going to stack. We'll start out with the Bandit. It doesn't matter if it's a stock Harley with a diaphragm, with a spring, a Barnett. This, we're going to talk about the Sportster with a lockup, big twins, same. We start out with a fiber, a steel, fiber, steel, fiber, fiber. That's stacking it. We took that, remember that one plate? We'll leave that over here. Steel, fiber, steel, fiber, steel, steel, fiber. And the way you go. So we end up with the same height, the same thickness. It's just that what we've done is put two fibers together, and it takes roughly 2 to 5% out. So when you shift, it gives it that little cushion, and that's what you want. Now, the back cut service, when the dog's engaged, instead of waiting to be timed and hitting that dog perfect and slamming it into gear, when you back cut it, it glides it into gear. And also the red line heavy shock proof. You guys, you gotta run this. This sticks to the gears. It's almost like a shock absorber in the gear. It gives a little cushion. You can stack your clutches. You can band it. We can adjust it. Now, a little touch here on the race side. This is the street version. Now on the race side, you should be able to run, this is on race bikes and street bikes. We'll talk about our Bagger no wheelie bar, no slick, street tire, 190 hookup, Shinko. You should be able, if the clutch is set up on a race bike, you can run them all year and never hurt the clutch. We do it all the time with 400 plus horsepower, the first 7-second bagger in the world, the fastest and the quickest. We know clutches. So if the clutch is set up properly on a race bike, the bike shouldn't wheelie and you shouldn't have no problem with clutches. Now, I'll share this with you. When you set up a clutch on a race bike, we shim the springs. We set it up, my son and I, and when we get to a track, he says, hey Dad, the track's really bad. We don't want to change our static. We don't want to change the weights. All we do is go in, stack one plate. We go out, it hooks up, flies, 770 right down the racetrack. The track gets better that day, we don't stack them. Now we go fiber, steel, fiber, steel. So the trick is to stack your clutch when the track's bad. Don't change all your shims, don't lose your setup, don't change your weights, work with the clutch. If the clutch is set up right, you will not slip it, you'll not burn it up. Anybody that goes on the racetracks and burning clutches up every couple passes, you're doing something wrong. So that's basically it on the stacking the clutch. 2 fibers together, skip a couple, 2 steels, and back together. And guys, you're going to enjoy your 6-speed. Simon Motorsports. We have new ones in stock. We have billet doors in stock. Whatever you need. And remember our little tech tip earlier, the other video on removing the transmission. So it's great talking to you. And by the way, we have a couple more videos that are going to be killer. Watch out for them. And hey, we'll see you at the racetrack. Bye.